welcome to the latest edition of the Buck Stops Here. I am your host, Hound Dog Buck 50, bringing you the latest in battle rap news, and I am the illest battle rap in the game. But like I always say, this is not about me. Now, on this episode, we're going to recap the Ultimate Madness 3 tournament. Now, this is the second week of the tournament. Now, the first week was 2 weeks ago. Now, I'm not giving you bar for bar breakdown, people. I'm not going there. That's going to take me forever. But I'm going to give you what I thought off first watch, and you can comment and tell me if you agree, if you disagree. Fine, you know what I mean? Let's get into it. So the first battle was KCJ versus Prep. Now, Prep was coming off a controversial win against Swave 7, where Swave thought he was robbed. KCJ won clearly against New Jersey Twerk, but a lot of it was based around Twerk not performing well. KCJ, though talented, wasn't that great in the battle, but she won by default. But my gut instinct is that she was going to be better, and she was better. She came out first round, all guns blazing, a great first round. Her energy was just that of somebody who's coming to win the money. She was on it. The energy was there. In the bottom of the first, Prep tried to rebuttal. Well, he did. He rebutted something she said, because she said something. She had a line about him, breaking some girl's ribs or something. Something had got out in the battle rap world that he abused some chick and broke her ribs. I don't know. But nevertheless, he did a rebuttal, and he had a phone, and he said, well, if I did that, why is she saying she didn't do that in these messages? And he points to the phone, and the next thing you know, Prep just goes blank. Can't remember his round, and it was bad too, because at one point he's like, damn, why let this bitch fuck me up? Wow. And KCJ's first round was already an awesome round. So, when somebody's round is good, you're trying to see if the other person's going to go step for step. So it was like, we knew it was her round early. By the time Twerk finally started to kind of remember, as the damage was done. And I would say this, it's just a tip to MCs, upcoming MCs, or battle rappers, I should say. You don't got to rebuttal everything, man. I feel like in this, and when you're dealing in this tournament, it's like your time is so condensed. You know what I mean? It's like you don't got a 5-minute round where you can do a spin and do all these different things. You got 2 minutes to make your material potent. You don't want to waste no time on no rebuttal, unless that rebuttal is just going to earthquake the room. Leave it alone. Not to mention the fact that the rebuttal can sometimes throw off your thought process. And that happened to Prep. He probably was going to lose the round anyway, but that was a bad move. And the second, KCJ, came with more. She came with more of the energy and the flow. And now there was a couple times where she had to run a line back. And I was thinking oh boy, she might be setting this up for Prep to make this 1-1. So let's see what Prep is going to do. But when Prep went, Prep was just more or less, he did this angle where he was just like a battle of the sexes type thing. You would jump off. You ain't really that fly, and you ain't that, whatever, dudes hit you, and it was like, it just didn't go nowhere. So, I felt like Prep had a chance, but he blew it in round 2. So at that point, okay, in my mind, KCJ's moving on. In the third, that was Prep's best round. He may have won that on first watch, but by then the damage was done. KCJ's third was good too, but I'm going to say on first watch, KCJ 2-1, to Prep. I felt like even against Swave, he had a lot of aggression and projection in terms of making his presence felt But it seemed like it was more of that than it was lyrical genius to me. It seemed like that was his main emphasis, just to be as loud as possible, instead of as lyrical as possible. Not saying you got to be that lyrical, but you know what I'm saying. So then after that, we had Rum Nitty and Drugs. Rum Nitty, his first round was pretty good. Rum Nitty was on it, good lines, good punchlines. It was no heavy content, but we know that's not what Rum really do. But now, this is where I got to keep it 100. And when Drugs went to do his first, I lost signal on the caffeine. So I don't know what Drugs said in his first. I got everything back together when it was time for the top of the second. I saw the comments and everybody was saying Rum. So I'm assuming Rum won the round, but I don't know that for a fact. Rum's second was pretty good. More or less punching again. Drugs, I'm not crazy about Drugs, never have been. I don't think Drugs is that great. And I'm being kind by saying that great. But his second, I felt like his second, he took an angle talking about Rum, always losing the big battles. And I felt that was solid. And considering Rum didn't do nothing but punch in the second randomly, I said, okay, you know what, 1-1. Let's see how this plays out. Rum's third, for the most part, random punches, He did say something about, him sounding like New Jersey twerk, referring to Drugs. But for the most part, a lot of it was just random punching. So I'm like, okay, let's see what Drugs is going to do. In the third, he took an angle where he was talking about how Rum let Hollow talk to him like a little brother. But the way he started off the round, he's like, don't you hate when your little brother's in your room and he's always messing around with the video game and that's you don't got the controller. But the way he did it, it was like, I wanted to believe it was going somewhere, but by the time it got to its destination, I was like, nah, Drugs, this ain't it. So I can't really say that I gave it to Rum 2-1 because I didn't see Drugs first. So it was 1-1 from what I saw. At least I'm assuming maybe Rum did win the first, but I still want to see it. Then you had Cortez and Jack Boy Maine. Cortez, he whooped Official real bad. Jack Boy Maine beat T-Top. This was a good battle. Jack Boy started it off first. Jack Boy was pretty good, but the only thing I would say was, and this is just me talking, it felt like as soon as I heard him, it felt like, okay, he's taking the same formula that he used against T-Top. The same kind of cadence. Turn the block, round the block, up the state, travel with, that, that type of thing. But hey, more power to Jack Boy. Whatever's working for you is working for you. You know what I mean? But I felt like Cortez first was stronger. And I felt like this was almost like the theme of the battle. I felt like Jack Boy was good, but Cortez was just a little bit better, in every round. Maybe on the second watch, I may say Cortez 2-1 or something. But on first watch, I gave it to Cortez, all 3 rounds, in a close battle, though. Because 3-0 doesn't necessarily mean you body somebody. It just means you won the round. Then we finished it off with friends turned enemies. Geechee Gotti versus Swamp. And this was an interesting battle because they were actually teamed up together for the double impact, but now they're forced to battle each other. Geechee started first, and Geechee, was on attack, and he was definitely on a pace, a bar for every effing bar, as he would say. He was on that type of pace in his first round. So by the time we get to Swamp in his first round, I should say, Swamp His first round ended kind of abruptly. It ended short to me, but I also feel like um, there was it lacked cohesiveness throughout the battle. Like there was something that was missing, you know, the structure. Like there was times when he would say something, you know, like you are not that tough, but and I know that that was just his thing, but it seemed like it took away from whatever he was trying to rhyme about, if you know what I mean. And it just, I don't know, it just felt weird, you know. It just, and in a second, Geechee rebutted something he said about him not being a tough guy or whatever, and Geechee rebutted that. And his second, Geechee's rebuttal was second, and the second was strong. Swamp second wasn't bad, but I felt like there was times when, and maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'll watch it again and I'll be like, you know what? Mandela effect. Whatever I thought happened didn't happen with Swamp. But there was times when Swamp was rapping, and you know how like you'll say something about the Dodge Challenger, and then you'll say we gonna update the days to the calendar or whatever. But you kind of see the two lines merging together. There was like a couple times when Swamp would say something like, I don't know, I'm just rambling. Like, you know, you think you all that, you think you tough, but as soon as I see you, motherfucker, let me tell you something, Geechee. It was like, what was that? That didn't connect. You know what? I thought maybe I was tripping. I thought maybe I was the only one that noticed that. Y'all let me know in the comments if I was tripping. But I gave Geechee the second. Now, Geechee's material fell off in the third. And I felt like Swamp took the third. Now, the thing is, this is what I took from watching this battle. Swamp is not every bar. He's not that kind of guy. We know that already. But you don't necessarily have to have every bar to win a battle, because a battle is a lot more than that. I just felt like, you know, when you're not that type of person, you know, coming with every bar, you got to be polished in other ways. Your rhyme structure, you know, everything else has to flow like water. That way, I'm not paying attention to just hoping when are you going to come with another bar. Because it to me, like I say, and I stress the first watch, because maybe it's Mandela effect. Maybe I'm going to watch it tomorrow and be like, it was flawless. What the hell was I thinking? Mandela effect. But when I watched it, I felt like Swamp was, you know, I'm not going to go as far as to say all over the place, but the structure could have been better, especially for somebody like Swamp who's not coming every bar. You know, so you want everything to be that much better. You know, this is just like sports. You know, if your offense is ranked number 12, if you want to take it to the house and win a Super Bowl, that defense better be top 5 and that special teams better be off the hook. That's the way I feel. But overall, I enjoyed the Ultimate Madness. And you know what? It would be nice. It would be ironic if Cortez wins all of this, because he's like the stepchild of URL. Why, I don't know. But it would be poetic justice if he did win it all. And then for that reason, I really didn't know who I was rooting for, you know, with this competition. But yeah, I think it's official. I'm rooting for Cortez. So, you know, salute to him, and I hope he takes it to the house. But don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. And as always, peace, love, and whatever else you think of love.